Hi to anybody watching this. How do I start these off? Hello to my future kids, future wife, future friends, past friends, current friends, literally anybody watching this. It is October 10th, not October 10th. That was 4 days ago. It's October 14th, 3:56 a.m. I'm still up. I realize I need to think about the issue at hand. Not issue, but we'll call it the issue at hand, the title of this video, my ex moving on. Because it caused me to make some realizations that I wouldn't have made without this account, and that I need to put here because it's the whole point of the account. This is really just to be a diary and to show, like, it's hard, sometimes it's hard for me to take advice from my dad, or just because, he's Superman, he's Super Garth, he's, how do I really know he was 17 at one point, even though he had to be to become 55? But I'm doing this just because I want there to not be that disconnect that I have. I want it to be, for hopefully my future kids watching this, I want them to have the realization, oh my goodness, once my dad was also 17 going through a heartbreak, and he was so goofy back then, he had to dress up to hype himself up to make a video about the whole thing, because that's what I had to do. But yeah, so I have roughly 5 pages of notes that I'm going to be reading about this whole thing. I tried to record this once already, and then I flubbed up super bad, only 5 minutes in, only 5 minutes in, so I just deleted that video. And in that video I did a prayer. I'm not going to do another one, because at that point I'd just be doing it for the video, You guys don't need to see the prayer. That prayer was for me. Right? Another thing that's for me that you guys probably are noticing, I have some music playing in the background. It's a song called Don't You Give Up On Me. It's by Brandon Lake. It is probably one of my favorite worship songs, and I play it whenever I need it, and tonight is just one of those nights that I needed it. I'm up at 4 a.m. talking about my ex moving on. Tonight's one of those nights that I need it. Let's go to the notes, right? There's no real better way to say it than just, she moved on, right? At my last football game on October 10th, the date I accidentally said, I saw her. Let's give her a fake name. Let's call her Veronica. I saw Veronica, and I saw some guy walking beside her, right? At first, I thought it was her gay best friend. Usually, if your girlfriend has a gay best friend, you're not prone to liking them. Dude, I think this guy's so cool. There were some things I was like iffy about, but overall, great guy. I really do admire him. I think he's awesome. He's so creative too, something I wish I was. But as I kept looking, I was like, no, that's not the gay best friend. That guy's hair is way too dark, right? Raising an eyebrow. I'm on the football field getting ready for a game, raising an eyebrow. Who's Veronica with? Even my mom and sisters saw him, and I just had one of those gut feelings again. They've been so accurate. I told my mom about him, side note, I told my mom about those gut feelings, and she's like, or it could be discerning of the spirits, or whatever that may be called in an actual biblical sense. Discernment. Could be discernment, and I was like, very well could be, who knows. But I had those gut feelings, so I reached out to a very close friend of mine who knows the inner workings of Veronica's family and some of the stuff going on with Veronica. And I was like, what's the deal with this guy? Is it a new boyfriend? And it is. It is a new boyfriend, right? And I'm happy for her, but pretty sure it's for all the wrong reasons. And that's an issue with me. There were kinda two main reasons I was happy for her. One of them is like multiple reasons in one, that's why I put kinda. The first one was she moved on, right? That's all I want for her. I want to be a thing of her past, maybe a thing of her future. Cross my fingers. Not really. But I know I cannot be a part of her present. So her moving on to somebody new makes me so proud of her. All I want for her even now is the best. So to know she's chasing that makes me happy. As I wrote this out, like from start to finish, this was probably like a 2-hour process of thought and pen and paper. And you can kind of see the shift once I realize, oh my goodness, what's going on here? So you can kind of see the shift throughout. So I'm going to be reading this mostly verbatim. So that was the first reason. The second reason, it's very selfish. From talking to my friend who gave me his name and status as new boyfriend, I learned he did not make a good impression to the family. And that part of her moving on made me very happy, right? Just because it's like, oh, Veronica, you think you can find someone new? Sure. Can you find someone better? Yes. Did she? Probably. But for a moment, I was like, you can't do better. Very, very crass of me. Very, very, very me of me, right? When I hung out with my friend Micah today, I'll see if I can throw a picture of him on the screen. I've known him for years. One of my best buds. I was telling him about my ex's new man. We'll call him Justin. And I was going into detail of every little thing he did wrong, and every minor imperfection I was told about. Most of it's stuff that's just out of his control. After I told Micah all of that, all those imperfections and little details and missed marks, he said, sure sounds like you're happy she moved on. He got me. And we both chuckled, but I thought about it and realized I truly was happy for the wrong reasons. For crying out loud, I was happy I'm slightly taller than him when height is mostly genetic. It's luck of the draw. I'm proud of something outside of both of our controls. Meanwhile, I'm sure he's 1,000 times smarter than me. He's at Barry, right? Sorry, I had a note in parentheses here, but I don't really need to do that just yet. If I want to do that, I'll do it later. But yeah, no, I was happy I had something over him that's out of our control. Right? Even though he's smarter than me. At least I think he is. I believe he is. I wasn't happy strictly for her sake, but also for my own. I did some really messed up things in that relationship, which I will tell you about when you're older. That's to my kids. Anybody else who just randomly finds these, I'll probably tell you about it if you ask, and I know you well enough. But I did some really crap things in that relationship, which I'll tell you about when you're older. I really thought I could have ruined love for this girl, right? After the breakup, me and her were having a talk, both pouring our hearts out to each other. And she told me, I'll never find another man that is able to fill the gap you're leaving. What? That's not something you tell. That's not something you say, right? Which either meant she'd never find love again, which I knew wasn't true knowing her, right? Or I fully sealed the deal and she switched from bi to lesbian, which was very possible knowing her. So to see her with another man means I did not totally ruin heterosexual love for her, which is a great thing. because it means that I didn't screw her up, which is part of why I'm happy. Not because she moved on, but because I didn't mess up so bad that I stalled her. I wasn't happy for her. I was happy because it meant that I didn't make as big of a mistake as I thought I did. I wasn't only happy because she moved on. I was happy that she moved on first, because that means I loved more. I cared more. Every time we fought over who loved more was a battle that I officially won October 10th, 2025, when she brought a new boyfriend to my football game. Right? And because she moved on first, that means it is socially acceptable for me to get a new girlfriend. There still isn't anyone in my life that has my attention, so I know I won't have a new girl for a while. But still, that's another bonus for me of her moving on and me being happy she moved on for me, not for her. I wasn't just happy because she found someone new, but I was happy because maybe this new guy in her life would keep my name out of her mouth. I get that sounds whack coming from me, since all you guys hear about is her. But when I talk about her, I try to esteem her every time her name touches my lips, right? Something I do. I try to talk about her very highly. Safe to say, I have it on good info. She's not doing the same thing for me, right? And it hurts. It hurts knowing how quickly that love turned to hatred, from spreading rumors about me to making fun of everything I do, down to the way I kneel. She said that was just an absurd thing she did. At one of my football games, someone got injured during the game, and so all the players were kneeling. And she's like, gosh, he can't even kneel right. Gert, what? It's just ridiculous. I'm realizing some of these times I'm writing you instead of she, as if this message is being said to her, which I think is neat. But she used to cry at the thought of how beautiful I was. She'd tell me what poetry reminds me of her. Oh my goodness. I'm losing my mind. She used to cry at the thought of how beautiful I was. She would tell me what poetry reminded her of me. And now I'm just that number 44 that she despises. Throughout this whole process of dealing with her moving on first and the breakup, I realized I'm not some nonchalant, incredible guy that is happy she moved on because Lord knows I did it months ago. I'm that ex. I'm the loser that still dreams about her. Three nights ago, she was in my dream again. Her face flooding my mind every chance it gets. I sat down with half intent to write about this girl, and now I'm 4 pages deep, knowing I could write 1,000 more. I'm not happy she's moved on. I'm happy she's moved away from me. Maybe someday soon will be the last time I have to hear or say her name, and I won't even know it. I'm hoping this leap and bound for her will put her into a place where I won't have to hear about this woman, who I'm not sure if I do or do not still love. I mean, even seeing her new boyfriend sucks, not out of a place of jealousy, but because he truly is my opposite. I was similar to Veronica, almost said her name. I was similar to Veronica in a few ways, but where I wasn't, her new guy is. I can tell from his looks, style, the stories I've heard about him, and his music. He truly is my opposite. But he's also just the male version of Veronica. I stumbled upon his Spotify tonight as I was writing this video. And just through looking at it, I can see like he's everything I'm not. His playlist names go from Hang Me, Oh Hang Me to EDM Bounce and Tear It Up, right? He has that sporadic nature that Veronica has. And they really just are a better match. And he's the opposite of me in every way I've noticed. In everything I've heard and seen and witnessed. He's the opposite of me. And I think that's so neat. How one person can love two opposites. It's weird. I wasn't just happy that she found what I wasn't. I was happy that since she moved on, that's just one more step toward me being a thing of her past and actually being able to imagine my own future. There is no more us. Her and I truly are separate. If I was over her, I wouldn't be happy she moved on. I would be impartial. I wouldn't care. Instead, I have to watch her make leaps and bounds of progress to force myself to inch forward because I don't know how to let go. As my final act of love for this girl, I'm going to just stop talking about her. It's an act for her and for myself. I may still bring her up for when I give advice, right? As long as it helps me and allows me to make a point. But other than that, there's no need for her anymore. She's moved on and is getting what's best for her, which is exactly what I want. But it's time I got the same. It's time I get the best, which is what she wanted for me. Yeah, that's my notes, if you can't tell. And as I was writing that whole thing out, I had some sappy phrase come into my head, which I expanded upon, and I realized it's not just a phrase that I heard a few years ago. It's a mentality I adopted. The original phrase, it was more of a story, just saying that every person is a mosaic of everyone they've ever loved, taking on little pieces of their life to become one final masterpiece, which is a beautiful idea. I really love beautiful ideas. They're so neat, right? Who comes up with this stuff? But I took that thought and I just kind of made it my own thing. I am a mosaic of everyone I've ever loved. I wish I could get rid of her palette and her stone pieces, but she's the best artist to ever grace my canvas. Why massacre the art made by love simply because it's not there anymore? Should we burn the Mona Lisa because Da Vinci is no longer with us? And that was my thought for a while. The efforts are there because of the feelings that caused them. So should we get rid of the fruits of the effort because the feelings that caused them are gone too? And it varies situation by situation. But the realization was, we truly are canvases. But canvases have a finite amount of space. I can't take on new pieces of glass and new stones if I'm full of old stones. I can't take on a new form and become a new thing if my canvas is cluttered. It's hard to create your own masterpiece when you already have an outline left by someone else, because it's not your own. It's someone else's, and you're just kind of filling in the empty spots. So while we shouldn't burn the Mona Lisa because Da Vinci's no longer with us, it's important to be able to adjust ourselves and the influences other people have had to make room for better things to come. She's coming soon. By she, I mean my future wife. I was talking to my sister Alex about it, and I made the realization, man, there's like, I'm gonna meet my wife within the next 4 years probably. There's like under 1,600 days in 4 years, right? And, you know, with every day that passes, there's one less day till I meet my wife, right? So really, it's like a 1 in 1,600 chance every day, but it's also getting slightly better every day. Tomorrow it's gonna be 1 in 1,599, and then the next day 1 in 1,598. Maybe not those exact numbers, but still, it's just, I'm just chipping away at it. I gotta find a way to get rid of the stones she placed on my canvas. There's no need for her palette, because I'm making a different mosaic piece. I need to be over her. I need to stop talking about her. There's no need for it. It doesn't help me, because it just puts her back onto my mind, and that leads me to me having more dreams about her. How am I 5 months, 13 days out of the breakup, and she's still in my dreams? That's absurd. So yeah, I'm moving on. Just because she's the best artist I've seen doesn't mean she's the best artist I'll meet. Sure, she's made the most impact on my canvas, but that doesn't mean she will make the most impact on my canvas. It's past tense. She was the best artist to ever be a part of this. But there's gonna be someone better. Same way I left little pieces of me with her. Hopefully, Justin, or whatever fake name I gave her ex, or her new boyfriend, can take away those pieces that I left and make room for himself, because that would be awesome. Yeah, that's about it. And if you don't take anything I said from this video, right, and you don't learn anything, and you don't take any of the advice, at least see that I once struggled. You know? I also was prone to having those nights where I was up until 4:30, just in thought, unable to escape my own mind, because that's something that just happens. Everybody struggles. Everybody struggles. So yeah, to my future kids, or really anybody else watching this, don't be afraid to reach out. I'll be here, you know, until I'm not. Whoa, scary thought. But yeah, I'm here for anybody who finds this video. I've gone through a lot, if you can't tell. But because I've gone through a lot, I can help a lot, which is something I'm very grateful for. That's about it for tonight. October 14th, probably 4:28 in the a.m. I'll see you guys later.